and welcome back to another video. So as you can see, I do have my nails painted and I'll get into that in a little bit, but today is Monday, therefore it is another sketchbook session type of video. So I thought it'd be fun today to just do another illustration with alcohol markers, but of my OC Moriko. Mostly because I think both of my girls, so Sato and Moriko, have their nails painted. My nails are probably closer to what Sato wears. These are gel nails that I did myself. They don't look the greatest. They work for what I needed them to be. So by the time you're watching this video, it's Monday, so the weekend would have already passed, but as I'm recording this video, it is before the weekend. So because of that, I actually painted my nails because one of my best friends is getting married and me and my other friend are her bridesmaids. So we decided that we'll just paint our own nails. So I got really into doing like gel nails and stuff just to get prepped for this, but I thought it'd be fun to work on an illustration of Moriko and just like make her kind of like show off her nails, and we can kind of give her like a cute design or something. And I kind of just haven't done, I think, Moriko in alcohol markers before. Granted, like there's probably plenty of my OCs that I haven't done any like illustrations with alcohol markers, but I'm very compelled to do Moriko. So to start off, I did use binder clips to help clip in our pages. I also have 2 stacks of little sticky notes here. I'm gonna stick them into the back of my sketchbook. Oops. Only because I want to try to even out my sketchbook as we are approaching the end. We do get this like uneven gap. And sketching material wise, I think we're just gonna use the classic COlor ENO, and we'll do line art with Magicfly markers and do Ohuhu markers and a mix of Copic, I think is what we were going to do. So let's see if we can kind of speed through the sketching portion. I will probably zoom in, so please don't mind the state of my nails. I'm not the best at doing gel nails, but I don't even think I've ever worn nail polish this long in my life. It's only been 3 days, and I have to wear them throughout the weekend, so it'll be like less than a week. But I think when I was younger, I only wore them for like a couple of hours and I would wipe them off. So I actually might do a very small little thumbnail near the bottom so you can kind of plan out Moriko's pose a little bit. Because I would like at least one, I guess like the back side of her hand to be visible so we can actually give her like some sort of design on her nail. And then the other one's kind of gonna be free game, I guess. Fair game. Because I've drawn her, I think her main reference kind of looks like this. With her hand. I was thinking, is there a cute way of doing this? Hopefully my mic placement isn't like strange today. The lights in my room is a little funky, so I've been trying to experiment with how to get minimal shadow. As you can see, that's not really working today. Thinking if we have her hand resting this way, so we'll have her nails exposed here, and maybe have her look at her own nails. Do we have her exposed palm? Could be cute. I had another idea of her holding her phone and showing off her nails, and like as if she's in the mirror, which means I might have to draw her flipped, would make more sense. I've been breaking my lead more recently, in like the recent years. I've been definitely becoming heavy-handed again. Feels like more like an engagement photo type of thing when you show off your hand this way. Also, I don't think I explained. Another reason why we're doing alcohol markers, I once again placed a sheet of the sticker paper on the back so that we can work on the notebook paper and blend to our heart's desire. Okay, I need to shuffle her over. I'm realizing I'm not gonna have enough room for her hand, so I need an eraser. The thing is like, I'm not too attached to the sketch on the back of this paper. You can tell that I didn't place any kind of sticker paper down or anything. I'll lower my mic actually, just so she's closer to this one side. So we want one hand down here. I think it's still cute if she has her hand like this. Her nails kind of peeking through here, and we'll make sure the majority of her nails are visible. I feel like it makes more sense if you're resting. I guess it'll be more splayed out as my problem. I tend to give my OCs if they have like nails, because I usually just rough them in super quickly. They mostly have like the more slightly pointed almond shaped nails with either, but maybe kind of coffin or square. I don't know the nail terminology, to be honest. I have to lower her face. Okay, because I drawn this hand. So strange. I'll give her her kind of leather jacket kind of sleeves. I don't think I gave you guys an update on like, was it? I think it was actually probably the video before this. I was trying to burn a CD so that I could play music in my car, because it's a bit of an older car, so it doesn't accept aux cable. It has like the CD thing at the very back. I had the wrong type of CD, so my car couldn't read it. So I ended up finding a cheaper alternative to getting a set of like proper CDs that would work for the type of car that I have. And luckily it worked. I could offload my Plave songs on there, and then now I need to get some of my favorite 17 songs, because it only can do, I think, 80 minutes? I don't know what expression to give her. But this video, I think, will probably be one of the only times I will announce this. I might make a community post, depending on how I feel, but I will be joining Artfight this year. I ended up like making my profile and everything. I just don't know how many I'm gonna be able to do, or if I'm gonna do like a lot of revenges or whatever as well. So it is my first Artfight. I'm gonna take it fairly slow, or at least like as comfortable as I can make it for myself, so I don't get too overwhelmed or too burnt out, I guess, because I guess that's a common thing among people who do Artfight. I think it'll be fun drawing like other people's OCs again, but with a little bit less like obligation, if that makes sense. I feel like every time I've done it for a video, there's like that added pressure. But because I ended up doing my nails for my friend's wedding, and I have access to a few different colors, I might just play around with wearing nails every so often. I've always... This is gonna seem a little weird. I've always been more like tomboyish, I guess, or more low maintenance. But I've always wanted to be a little bit more like, I'll let myself be more girly. Like wear dresses, skirts and stuff, even though like for some reason it just makes me feel a little bit more uncomfortable. But I think I'm gonna say screw it and just wear whatever. I am a little bit scared to color her because her hair is black, but I lean it towards like a dark green and sometimes like a little bit more tinge of a brown. And I don't know how I want to mix those colors per se in terms of working with alcohol markers. Make it into like a smaller smile maybe. And then I can make her too wide. I feel like this thumb would be in front of her hand though, so we won't see too much of this nail. I'll probably just make it a plain color, but what kind of cute nails can we give Moriko? I'll probably do this just in ink, so we can put maybe a text box or something here. Hey, maybe hey look. To fix the spacing on this. Because I think I've mentioned in the past that Moriko is also into like fashion, because I was not sure what kind of design I wanted her to be in, because I think her and Akemi could be in similar-ish fields, just in the design field, but not exactly the same focus. So I've had ideas of like making Akemi more into like either architecture or just VCD, so visual communication design, and then maybe having Moriko in fashion design, or kind of like industrial design. Might have made this too feel like she'd be so excited to show her nails, but she has her hand facing the wrong way. But at least you can see them down here, so. A little bit of line art. I'm gonna try to fill out her eyes just a smidge more because I'm scared that I'm gonna botch the eyes somehow. I love drawing Moriko. She's so fun. I had like a whole phase where I drew mostly Kaisen and Moriko whenever I drew any OC. And then I think I'm in my Kaisen phase again. So I think what are we gonna do is start with the line art. I'm gonna pick out some colors. Now her color scheme in general is on the darker side minus her eyes. So I think we are gonna just stick with a dark color and then I will focus more on the detailing for the eyes at the very end. Sato has like a little bit more of like a rounder shape, but also I tend to give Sato like similar to me, hooded kind of. Is that a hooded eye? If you connect it like here, where you have like a flap of skin that basically covers part of your eye, that or it's like close to a monolid almost. I give it to Masaki as well. So luckily, as we get to use our alcohol markers on top of our line work, some of these lines I can actually fiddle around with in terms of what they appear because of the capability of layering alcohol markers on top. And just so I don't lose my highlight, I am gonna throw that in. But later on, if we end up accidentally covering in our highlight with our base color or shadow colors, any subsequent color basically. Her eyes are uneven. No! I want to do like OC scenarios again, maybe. Maybe in August or something after Artfight. But I'm excited to join Artfight, that's for sure. I was shocked to see that some people were like, oh, I didn't know you were entering into Artfight and stuff. So that was kind of neat. I keep forgetting to show more of like the sides of the fingers whenever I draw nails. I feel like that's like another reason why sometimes nails just look a little funky. I didn't really think about the design for her nails. We did think a little bit about the color. I do want to get a teal set though, or like a teal color for gel nail polish or something. Oh, did I talk about this? I have like a peel off base coat on all of these, so I could technically remove these a lot easier than how I initially thought we were going to do our nails. Oh, I think because like I always grew up like very self-conscious, I think that's why I'm always afraid of like breaking not character or like image per se, but like I said, I dress very comfortably and not very feminine girly per se. Like I don't wear skirts, dresses, or like very revealing clothes or like flowy clothing. I wear like chunkier sweaters or like always trying to cover up most of my arms and stuff just because I find it more comfortable. But I think that's another reason like on why I don't feel comfortable suddenly changing aesthetics and then people around me being like, oh, like what is this? What is happening? Even though like I feel like they would more or less respond fairly positively. I'm very adverse to change, if you can't tell. Because I've had the same haircut, I think. Not even a haircut, it's just the way how I wear my hair low-key. Since I was in grade 9, I think? I mean, kind of in grade 8 as well. It's just my hair got longer. I was always told to get wispy bangs. Maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll bite the bullet. Do a more of a dramatic change to my appearance. Sorry, if I ever taking like long pauses, I am farming in Honkai Star Rail. Because the final one's coming out pretty soon, I believe, right? And I summoned way too many times already. So I am definitely Stellar Jade broke. Because I summoned for Hyacine, I've summoned for Anaxa. I feel like I got lucky getting them. But I'm thankful that I got them. I love wind characters, but I would love to have another physical. But tomorrow's supposed to be super busy because we're helping my friend set up at the venue. And then Saturday is gonna be a whole thing. Ah! Oh my lord. I never have notifications on. Dang. The funny thing is, like, I seldomly play the Pokemon... What is that? The Pokemon card app? Trading card app? Whatever you want to call it. Pokemon TCG app? Something of that sort. I haven't been, like, regularly opening packs, and, like, today I was just a little bit anxious, so I was like, I'll just pull a few cards. And I didn't know there was, like, the new Eevee event, or card pack, I guess, that you can pull from. So I pulled today, and I guess that's my thing telling me, hey, you can open a pack now. Oh, I don't know if I gave that much context. So every time I've talked about my friends on this channel, especially like more recently, from more or less like the, what is it called? Convention vlog type of stuff or prepping, I always talk about friend A and friend B. So friend A got married 2-3 years ago? It might have been 2 years at this point. And then friend B is the one that's getting married, so she's the one that I tend to weeb out with and all that. But I've been friends with them for so long. One since like 7th grade, I think. So it's been, it was 12, 16 years with her. And then the other one's like 14 years that we've been friends, but I've known her for technically 16 as well. Because we attended all the same junior high, all the way. Well, yes, attended the same junior high. I went to a different high school from them, but I'm excited. I'm excited for them. I don't know if I want to leave this vague and see if I can just like make shapes out of it. Okay, so we're going to really quickly do a quick erasing of our sketch. Like I said, Moriko has more darker colors, so I don't have to do it too much. I like to erase mostly near the face, and usually any skin tone area that will be too visible. I think it'll be kind of cute. I might block in like green at the very back, just to fit her color scheme a little bit more. But let me pick out a few markers. I do think, let me think how I want to do this. I have like an Ohuhu skin tone set that has the base tone that I could use. It might be a little bit too pale for Moriko. E120 looks very pinky red. Then I need warmth to her skin tone, which we could use. I don't know if any of these are too light. A little bit of lavender P4. B050. 03. A little bit of blue, so B350. I think that's all we're gonna use for her eyes. Hopefully this kind of works out. Okay, so let me do... So many colors picked out. I'll start with her ear. Because usually I would start darker and then smooth it out. So maybe I do have to do that instead. We'll just start with her ear. I worked with more like a Bristol board when working with the Copic markers. So I am afraid a little bit about having too much streaking. And because of how this paper is, it's super thin. But underneath has like that sticker paper coating, so I definitely am accidentally pushing the ink around in a strange way, I feel like. Okay, I promise I will try my best to correct all this. So I think I forgot how fast alcohol markers dry because I typically can use like more colors that are like closer in value to each other. So on this notebook paper, the color is a little bit more blended in my opinion. This doesn't look too funny. So I feel like it's just a little bit splotchy here and there. Let's give a little bit more context that this is supposed to be her palm. And these ones are going to be slightly in more shadow. But definitely blending on this notebook paper. Usually it's okay. I think it's because I preemptively put on that sticker paper that the sticker coating is not letting the paper absorb all of the ink at a certain rate, if that makes sense. Hopefully it doesn't look too orangey saturated on camera. I think brown matches her skin tone a little too much. I mean, the alternative is to make this green, make the rest darker. Maybe that's the move. But it's just me scribbling stuff in when I'm sketching that I'm too lazy to change it because I kind of do the same thing for Sato's, but then assume that hers are just dark blue. Or like, kind of this color. I feel like this is more like Sato's skirt color, if anything. I'm gonna try my best to leave our upper portion fairly light still. We're gonna blend it out a little bit with our Celadon. Yeah, Celadon, celery? Celadon green. Light in color. But the kind of like mixture of like the warm green and this green I think looks kind of nice. Our secondary color at the very top. And then leaf green. Fire red. Darken it a little bit. Because like I said, her eyes are fairly light-ish in color. So I don't want to make it too intense. And then her shirt color. How do you guys choose your nail colors? Like, do you actually think about like your clothing and your wardrobe? Can't imagine like being able to match like too many of your clothing all at once. We'll do her leather jacket a little bit later. So it's a little bit too monochromatic feeling right now. Hair. Hair is something I'm scared of right now. Do I want to go warmer, maybe? Usually when I work with like alcohol markers, I block in almost like a base color of some sort, and then kind of a indication of where I want the highlights to be, and then I will fill in the shadows right underneath the band of highlights. But I think because we're gonna be kind of using this as our guide, I don't know if I want to make maybe the whites more of an intense highlight, and then we'll have the green as like a softer highlight. So let's try it out. I'm gonna pick up our... Wait, which color did I want to use? Maybe this? Yeah, I think we're gonna use this. I can tell I've never used this color It's kind of similar to that green I used earlier. It has like a nice kind of stiff feeling brush, which means that it's not been used that much. I might fill in her brows as well at this point, because even though I know I will do it with line art, I usually kind of do it more messy and a little bit more sparse, so having some sort of foundation of color will help. A little bit of depth for the hair as well. So maybe I'll finish this tomorrow night, because right now it's Thursday. So I might finish this Friday night after me and my friends finish up setup. Maybe grab dinner or something as well. Okay, so I didn't do too much of like highlights on this side. I did leave a little bit of the green still peeping through here, but we're gonna darken this quite a bit, I think. Which means we might have to use like a black fine liner to fix everything up. Where are the hair strands? I'm gonna leave this more vague, I think, because I think it'll give me more opportunity to give slightly more highlight and texture to her hair like this by leaving this more of the green, and then we can focus more of the darker portions just on the lower parts of her hair. Maybe I'll bring out the white marker so that we can do a little bit of like either sparkles or white detailing, because I think that will look cute. Kind of like similar to my nails where I have like white on this blue right now. Do something similar. But I think we are ready to do some, what is it called? Extra line art. But debating whether or not I want to go straight up black, therefore I should find a different fine liner, or we go with the typical one that I like to use. This one, the Energel Klena, which I could definitely use as well. Okay, so like I mentioned, I'm going to be using the Energel Klena. Is my camera like, just, what is happening? Is it just not enough light in this room? But Energel Klena, and I have black ink in this, as you can see. My other blue one has like a dark blue ink, which is why I'm not going to be using it. But hopefully this is dark enough to work on Moriko's line work. My black ink, or like my black marker that I like to use from Magicfly, I've accidentally used it so much and I think I was too heavy-handed with it. So I accidentally kind of like flattened it, so it does not ink the easiest, which puts more pressure on my hand, which is kind of why I try to avoid it if I can. And we're gonna outline with just the Energel Klena. I am gonna see if I can shrink down this eye slightly and then raise this one just a smidge, and hopefully this is drying. Yes. Because Moriko's palette is on the darker side and a good portion of my line art is kind of like low-key gone, there are some things I could budge ever so slightly if I wanted to. I might want to add just a smidge more detail into her eyes because I personally like the contrast. Pupil size, I want to make sure that kind of reads the same. Every time I do line art at the very end like this, where I pick something much darker, or even sometimes I just do line art at the very end regardless, so it might be on top of my sketch rather than on like a initial line art. It's definitely a trust the process because oh boy. I swear she was gonna be stuck in like low-key the ugly phase for way too long. But I hope you guys can tell what I mean, that it looks like her skin tone kind of evened out because now there's more contrast everywhere else. And I mentioned before, I think on Till's piece that I did last week, this one, because the lines are hidden so much, I am gonna line a good portion of it compared to when I did Till's, where I was a bit more picky about which lines I would actually darken. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was gonna be a lot darker, so I was scared that the ink was actually not gonna show up once I started doing the line work, but the black's showing up quite nicely, so now I need to give a little bit more context here because I can't just make it like a dark blob. Okay, almost done with Moriko. There are some areas that I'm picking up ink, so luckily I haven't really smudged on her face. I also want to see if I can find like a red color again and do a little bit of blush, because that's just something I like to add, and I feel like Moriko's like just happy vibes. So maybe her face is just like slightly flushed from excitement or something. Oh, I forgot her rings. So it's this hand still. A little bit on her, the bridge of her nose, and then a little bit just kind of straight across her face. I might add it back into her eyes. A little bit of shadow here and there. I think purple would be a good choice though. So not enough to actually make too much of a difference, I don't think, but still kind of worked out at the very end. Let me zoom out so we can take a good look at Moriko, and then I will probably fill out doodles later of her since it's getting late. That or if I find more time, because I could definitely do. $25, and this is our spread for today. We'll get rid of these sticky notes and we can do something else on this back page. Now on this one, you can see that there's a little bit of bleed through. I was drawing Kaveh and Al-Haytham a little bit with these colors, but there's some bleed through from right here, but it didn't really impede with the sketch, so that's fine. And I didn't really want to add any alcohol markers on this side, like I mentioned, too much, just because I didn't want to ruin the sketch. So yeah, I think Moriko actually turned out pretty cute. I like sketching like this. I might save this color specifically for her because I think it's kind of fun. But I might pair it up with another like warmer color so that we have a little bit of kind of like a two-color combination. This feels very monochromatic, but I think it's fun to do it as like a way to play around with the values. So we have like our black, we have the white of the page, we can use like the thinner lines to get a different kind of value, and then we can use like the brush tip to get our darker greens. So I think that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I always forget I don't have a bookmark for here anymore. I actually don't know where it went, but hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye! But also, if you're joining Artfight, I hope you have a wonderful Artfight for this year, and I look forward to drawing a lot of OCs. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!